You are my forever. Two simple words. One quiet promise. And yet, when Dylan Wang shared his anniversary message to Shen Yue, the world seemed to stop breathing. How does a man known for his silence say so much with so little? And why did this single sentence leave millions of fans staring at their screens in tears? Right now, right before the next revelation, is your chance to stay connected. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another powerful story, another shocking twist, or another unforgettable journey. This was not just an anniversary message. It was the final chapter of a love story that had been written slowly, carefully, and mostly out of sight. For years, Dylan Wang guarded his private life with almost painful discipline. His words were measured, his emotions tightly held. Even when rumors exploded, even when narratives were forced onto him, he rarely reacted. Many mistook that silence for distance. Others called it uncertainty. But this message changed everything. You are my forever. Not a trending declaration. Not a dramatic paragraph. Just permanence. And that is what made it devastatingly powerful. According to those close to the couple, the anniversary itself was not loud or extravagant. No grand spectacle. No staged perfection. Just two people choosing to honor time. Time survived. Time endured. Time shared when no one was watching. Dylan's message did not speak of passion or chaos. It spoke of certainty. Of something settled deep in the bones. When he wrote those words, fans realized this was not a man still deciding. This was a man who already knew. Forever is not a word used lightly. It carries weight. It implies storms weathered, doubts faced, and futures imagined. And in those two words, Dylan revealed what years of silence had been protecting. This love was never temporary. Sources describe Shen Yue's reaction as quiet and emotional. No dramatic response. No performance. Just gratitude. Just presence. Just the same calm strength that had defined her place in his life from the beginning. That calm is important. Because their story was never built on intensity alone. It was built on endurance, on choosing each other through long separations, demanding schedules, and the relentless scrutiny of public life. Dylan later reflected that loving Shen Yue taught him patience in a world obsessed with speed. He learned that real commitment does not need constant proof. It needs consistency. You don't say forever when you're still afraid, he reportedly shared. You say it when you've already stayed. Fans began revisiting old moments after the message. Old interviews. Old glances. Old silences that suddenly made sense. What once looked like restraint now looked like protection. What once felt distant now felt deliberate. This anniversary was not about marking a date. It was about acknowledging survival. The survival of love in an industry that often consumes it. The survival of something real in a world that rewards spectacle. And perhaps that is why fans were sobbing. Because in an age of short attention spans and temporary emotions, someone dared to promise permanence. Forever means choosing the same person even when the excitement fades. Forever means growing without outgrowing each other. Forever means staying when leaving would be easier. Dylan Wang did not write a love letter to impress the world. He wrote a truth meant for one person, and the world simply witnessed it. This message was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was final. And as the words echoed across screens, one thing became painfully clear. This was never a fleeting romance. Never a convenient pairing. Never a chapter waiting to close. This was a story that had already decided its ending. You are my forever. And sometimes, the quietest declarations are the ones that last the longest. And even after the tears, after the screenshots were saved and replayed, after fans tried to catch their breath, the meaning of those words continued to sink in. Forever is not a promise made in excitement. It is a promise made after endurance. In the days following the anniversary message, people began to understand why it felt so heavy. Dylan Wang was not speaking from the beginning of love. He was speaking from the middle of it. From the place where illusions have already fallen away, where love has been tested by distance, misunderstanding, and time itself. He later shared that the word forever came to him naturally, almost unexpectedly. Not because he had rehearsed it, but because it had already been living in his actions for years. I realized I had already been choosing her, he said. Every day. That confession reframed everything. Because forever, in this context, was not about the future alone. It was about the past. About all the days he had stayed quiet. All the moments he had protected something fragile instead of feeding the noise. All the times he had chosen stability over spectacle. Fans began to notice how different this love felt compared to the stories they were used to. There was no urgency, no desperation, no need to convince anyone, just calm certainty. Shen Yue, according to those close to her, has always understood this version of love. She never measured devotion by headlines or public gestures. She measured it by presence, by consistency, by the way Dylan showed up even when he was exhausted, uncertain, or afraid. Their anniversary, insiders say, was spent reflecting rather than celebrating, talking about how far they had come, laughing about moments that never belonged to the public, sitting in the comfort of something that no longer needed to be proven. And that is why the message hurt in the most beautiful way, because it reminded people of something rare. That love does not always arrive loudly. That commitment does not need an audience. That forever is built quietly, long before it is spoken. Dylan acknowledged that he knows the word forever scares people, that it feels unrealistic in a world where everything feels temporary. But he also said something that lingered long after. If love isn't meant to last, he asked, then why does it teach us how to stay? That question alone explains why fans couldn't stop crying. They weren't just reacting to a celebrity romance. They were reacting to the idea that lasting love still exists, that patience can be rewarded, that two people can choose depth in a world addicted to drama. This anniversary message did not close a chapter. It confirmed a foundation. It said that what they have is no longer fragile, no longer hidden, no longer uncertain. Forever, in Dylan Wang's voice, was not poetic exaggeration. It was a statement of arrival. A declaration that after years of waiting, protecting, and believing, he is exactly where he wants to be. And perhaps that is why it resonated so deeply. Because everyone, in their own way, is hoping to be someone's forever. Not loudly, not briefly, but truly.